Imagine a man who seems to have it all, the fame, the fortune, the legendary roles that defined a generation, yet behind the calm smile and quiet presence lies a story most people never truly see. What if the very things that broke him are what made him the person the world admires today? The losses, the pain, the moments that could have destroyed anyone else? This is not another glowing Hollywood tale. This is the dark truth about Keanu Reeves' life that nobody talks about. The real human cost behind the legend and how he kept moving forward with a kindness that feels almost impossible. Stay with me because this one hits different. Imagine a man who seems to have it all, yet behind the calm smile lies a story most people never truly see. What if the very things that broke him are what made him the person the world admires today? The losses, the pain, the moments that could have destroyed anyone else? This is the dark truth about Keanu Reeves' life that nobody talks about, the real human cost behind the legend and how he kept moving forward with a kindness that feels almost impossible. Stay with me because this one hits different. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon in 1964 to a mother who was a showgirl and a father who drifted in and out of their world, leaving permanent marks on a young boy's heart. When Keanu was just 3 years old, his father, Samuel Reeves, walked away from the family. In interviews, Keanu has described that absence with quiet honesty, saying, "The story with me and my dad is pretty heavy, full of pain and loss." That early abandonment meant constant moves across countries and cities with his mother, Patricia, and his younger sister, Kim. They lived in Australia, then New York, and finally settled in Toronto, Canada. Money was often tight, and stability felt like something other families had. Keanu has spoken about changing schools multiple times, struggling with dyslexia, which made learning even harder, and feeling like he never quite fit in anywhere. Yet even in those unstable years, his mother worked hard to keep them going, and Keanu found comfort in performing. He told stories later about how acting became an escape, a place where he could step into someone else's shoes when his own felt too heavy. By his teens, he had dropped out of high school, but he was already chasing roles in theater and small films, showing a quiet determination that would carry him far. As his career slowly built, Keanu kept facing challenges that tested him deeply. One of the hardest came in the early 90s when his close friend, River Phoenix, died suddenly from an overdose. They had worked together on My Own Private Idaho and shared a bond that went beyond Hollywood. Keanu has rarely spoken in detail about that loss, but those who know him say it hit him hard, reminding him how fragile life can be, even when success seems close. Around the same time, his sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia. Keanu stepped up without hesitation, putting his own projects on hold to support her through years of treatment. He has described in interviews how that period taught him about endurance and love, how being there for family matters more than any role on screen. Kim eventually beat the cancer, and their bond grew stronger through it all. These experiences started shaping the man people would later call one of the kindest in the industry, not because he was perfect, but because he understood pain and chose not to let it harden him completely. Then came the turn of the millennium, a time when Keanu seemed on top of the world, with the Matrix films bringing him global fame and financial security. But behind the scenes, something much more personal was unfolding. In 1998, he met Jennifer Syme at a party, and they connected instantly. She was smart, creative, and worked in the music industry. They fell in love, and soon Jennifer became pregnant. They were excited about becoming parents, naming their daughter Ava Archer Syme Reeves. But on Christmas Eve, 1999, tragedy struck. Ava was stillborn just weeks before her due date. The pain of that loss was immense. In later reflections, Keanu has shared how grief like that changes everything, how it pushes people apart even when they still care for each other. He and Jennifer separated not long after, though. They tried to find their way back at times. Keanu carried that sorrow, quietly refusing to turn it into public drama. He focused on work, but those close to him noticed the weight he carried, the way he moved through days with a deeper sense of appreciation for the people still in his life. Just over a year later, in 2001, another blow came. Jennifer Syme died in a car accident at only 28 years old. Keanu was devastated. Reports from the time show he attended her funeral and helped carry her coffin, showing the respect and love that remained despite their separation. Interviews years afterward, he has opened up about how these back-to-back losses affected him. One conversation that stands out is from a Guardian interview where he said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends. People have this misconception that you can deal with it and say it's gone and then better. They're wrong." He spoke about missing the everyday moments that will never happen, the what-ifs that linger. Yet, instead of withdrawing completely, Keanu chose to channel that understanding into how he treated others. On set, he became known for small, kind gestures like buying gifts for crew members or listening when someone needed to talk. These were not grand public acts, but real responses to his own pain, a way of saying, "I know how hard life can be, so let's make it lighter where we can." Growing up without a steady father figure left Keanu with questions he still carries. He saw his dad one last time around age 13, and the encounter was brief and distant. In a Rolling Stone conversation, he described the relationship as full of blank loss, acknowledging the emptiness it created. That absence pushed him to value loyalty and presence in his own life. He has never had children of his own and has remained unmarried, choosing privacy over the spotlight when it comes to romance. Some see that as sadness, but for Keanu, it seems more like a deliberate choice, shaped by the losses he endured. He pours energy into his work and into helping others quietly. Stories from fans and coworkers often surface about him giving up his seat on public transport or paying for strangers' meals, not for cameras, but because it felt right. These moments are not about being flawless, but about a man who knows darkness and still reaches for light. As the Matrix sequels demanded, his time Keanu faced physical challenges too. The intense training and stunts took a toll on his body, leading to injuries that required recovery. Yet he pushed through, showing the same resilience that defined his personal struggles. During that period, with his sister still recovering and fresh grief in his heart, he found ways to keep going one day at a time. Friends have said in various profiles that Keanu does not dwell on victimhood. He acknowledges the pain, but focuses on what remains. The work, the connections, the chance to create something meaningful. This mindset helped him navigate Hollywood, where fame brings its own pressures. He has spoken honestly about feeling like an outsider, even at the height of success, saying in one interview that he often wonders about the present and what might have been if certain people were still here. Keanu Reeves' approach to life after these tragedies reveals a lot about human strength. He has never claimed to have all the answers. In a BBC conversation not long ago, he admitted thinking about death, often not in a dark way, but as a reminder to value time. That awareness comes directly from what he has lived through: the stillbirth, the accident, the earlier abandonments. Instead of letting bitterness take over, he built a reputation for humility. When Matrix fame bought millions, he reportedly gave away large portions to the crew sharing the success because he remembered what it felt like to struggle. These actions feel authentic because they align with the man who has faced real loss and emerged with empathy intact. Audiences connect with him not because he is untouchable, but because his story shows someone who hurts like everyone else, yet keeps showing up with decency. Throughout his career, Keanu has chosen roles that explore pain and redemption, from John Wick to The Matrix to Speed. Those characters often carry heavy burdens and find ways forward, mirroring parts of his own journey. He has said in interviews that acting allows him to process emotions indirectly, giving voice to feelings that might otherwise stay buried. This honesty in his craft resonates because it comes from experience. He does not romanticize suffering, but he does not run from it either. That balance is what makes his public image feel earned. People sense he is not performing kindness, he is living it after learning its value the hard way. His relationship with his mother, Patricia, has remained a steady anchor. Keanu has often thanked her in interviews for her strength and support, calling her a big influence on his life. Despite the moves and challenges, she raised him and his sister with love, and that foundation helped him weather later storms. Family for Keanu means showing up even when it is difficult. When Kim battled leukemia, he was there consistently, proving that loyalty runs deep in him. These private commitments rarely make headlines, but they form the core of who he is, a man shaped by loss who refuses to let it define him only. As years passed, Keanu continued working steadily, taking on projects that interested him. Rather than chasing every trend, his quiet lifestyle away from constant parties and drama stands out in an industry known for excess. He rides motorcycles, enjoys reading, and values simple pleasures. Those who have spent time with him describe a thoughtful person who listens more than he speaks. That trait likely grew from years of processing grief alone, learning that not every feeling needs an audience. In a Stephen Colbert interview, he answered a question about what happens after death by saying, "I know that the people who love us will miss us." It was a simple, honest line that captured his view on connection and memory. Those words come from someone who has missed people deeply and knows the ache of absence. The dark truths in Keanu Reeves' life are not secrets meant to shock, but realities that explain his depth. The father who left the friend gone too soon, the sister who fought cancer, the daughter he never got to hold, the partner taken suddenly. Each one left a mark. Yet the story does not end in despair. Keanu has built a life where kindness is a response to pain, not despite it. He supports causes quietly, helps friends, and treats fans with genuine respect. This is why so many admire him beyond the movies. His journey shows that strength often looks like persistence. After heartbreak, the choice to remain open when closing off would be easier. Keanu has reflected on how these experiences influence his daily outlook. He does not promise easy healing because he knows it is not simple. Grief, as he described, changes shape over time. Some days it is sharp, other days it sits quietly in the background. What stays constant is the love that came before the loss. He has talked about keeping company with that love like a warm fire even when it hurts. That perspective offers comfort to anyone listening who has faced their own hardships. It is not polished advice from a guru, but words from a man who has walked through fire and found ways to keep moving. His career longevity speaks to that resilience too. From early indie films to billion-dollar franchises, Keanu brings a grounded presence that feels real. Audiences sense he understands the weight his characters carry because he carries some of his own. This authenticity connects on a human level, making even action-packed stories feel personal. Off-screen, he avoids the traps of fame, choosing motorcycles and small moments over flashy displays. That choice reflects someone who learned early that material things cannot replace what truly matters people in time. Looking at Keanu Reeves' path today, it is clear the dark truths have not broken him. They have refined him into someone who values empathy and quiet strength. He continues to work on projects that challenge him while maintaining the privacy he needs to heal and grow. Fans see a person who has every reason to be guarded, yet chooses openness where it counts. That balance is rare and powerful. It reminds us that life can deliver heavy blows and still leave room for goodness if we let it. The way Keanu handles interviews about these topics is telling. He answers with care, never oversharing but never hiding the impact. In one conversation, he noted how unfair and absurd loss can feel, yet all we can do is hope grief transforms into memory and solace. Those honest admissions make him relatable. Millions have lost loved ones in different ways, and hearing someone like Keanu acknowledge the lasting nature of that pain creates connection. He does not position himself as an expert, just as someone who has lived it and keeps going. Through all of this, his sister Kim has remained a close part of his life. Their shared history of moving and facing illness together created a bond that endured. Keanu has expressed pride in her strength and gratitude for their relationship. Family ties like that become even more precious after other losses. They serve as living proof that some connections survive and even deepen through difficulty. This focus on what remains rather than only what was lost seems central to how he approaches each new day. Keanu Reeves' story is ultimately one of endurance and humanity. The dark truths nobody talks about enough are the very things that reveal his character most clearly. A boy abandoned by his father, a young man losing friends and family, a star facing unimaginable personal grief, yet emerging with his kindness and work ethic intact. He has never claimed perfection or easy victories. Instead, he shows up consistently, does his best, and treats people with respect. That consistency after everything he has been through is what makes his life inspiring on a real level. As his career moves forward with new films and projects, Keanu carries those experiences with him. They inform his choices and his interactions, making him someone worth paying attention to beyond the screen. The world responds because deep down many recognize pieces of their own struggles in his. Loss is universal, but the choice to remain decent in spite of it is not. Keanu Reeves demonstrates that choice daily in small and meaningful ways. His journey reminds us that pain can coexist with purpose, and that moving forward does not mean forgetting it, means integrating the truth of what happened and still finding reasons to continue. This path has not been linear or simple. There were surely days when the weight felt overwhelming, when memories of Ava or Jennifer or River or his father surfaced strongly, yet Keanu has spoken about accepting that those feelings are part of being alive. He does not fight them endlessly, but lets them exist while he keeps living. That honest acceptance is powerful. It allows space for joy and creativity even alongside sorrow. His continued passion for acting motorcycles and quiet generosity shows a man who has made peace with his past enough to build a present that matters. In the end, the dark truth about Keanu Reeves' life is not just about the hardships, but about how he responded to them. He chose humanity over hardness, empathy over isolation, and persistence over giving up. That response turned potential bitterness into something warmer and more connective. People feel it when they watch his films or hear his rare personal reflections. It is why his story resonates so strongly and why so many continue to root for him, not as a flawless icon, but as a real person who has been through a lot and still stands with quiet grace. His life illustrates that while we cannot control what comes our way, we can decide how we carry it forward, and Keanu has carried his with remarkable steadiness and heart. Keanu Reeves has carried his with remarkable steadiness and heart. What stands out when you look closer at his choices is how he has consistently turned personal hardship into a quieter form of strength without ever seeking sympathy or turning his story into a spectacle. After the profound losses in the late 90s and early 2000s, he could have stepped away from Hollywood entirely and no one would have blamed him. Yet he kept showing up for work with a professionalism that impressed directors and crews alike. During the filming of The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, he was dealing with the aftermath of immense grief. but those around him noted his focus and willingness to push through long hours of training and stunts, even as his body took hits from the intense action sequences. In interviews like one with the New York Times, he reflected on how physical pain sometimes mirrored the emotional kind, saying that both teach you about limits and about continuing anyway. That mindset helped him complete projects that became massive successes while he navigated private mourning. He has never positioned himself as unbreakable. Instead, he admits in various conversations that some days are heavier than others, and that is simply part of being human after experiencing what he has. One aspect that rarely gets explored in depth is how Keanu Reeves' relationship with fame itself became complicated after tragedy struck. The Matrix made him an overnight global icon with wealth beyond what most people imagine, yet he has spoken honestly about feeling disconnected from that world at times. In a Rolling Stone profile, he described walking through airports or cities and sensing the gap between public perception and his internal reality, the one still processing absence and what-ifs. Rather than leaning into celebrity excess, he chose a more grounded existence, riding motorcycles across California highways, finding solace in the road and the freedom it offers. Those who have joined him on rides or heard him talk about them in interviews say it is not about escaping, but about clearing his mind, a way to feel present when memories of lost loved ones like his daughter Ava or Jennifer Same surface. He has mentioned in a Parade magazine conversation that motorcycles remind him of momentum, how you keep moving forward even when the wind pushes back. This hobby is not glamorous showmanship, but a practical response to needing space after years of emotional weight. It reflects the same man who once spent months supporting his sister Kim through leukemia treatments, putting aside his rising career demands to be by her side in hospitals and at home. Kim has beaten the illness, and their sibling connection remains a steady source of comfort, something Keanu has thanked her for publicly in subtle ways during award speeches and casual interviews. As the years moved on, Keanu Reeves began taking on roles that echoed deeper themes of loss and resilience, mirroring elements from his own path without ever making it explicit. Films like Constantine and later the John Wick series show characters wrestling with inner demons and finding purpose through action and loyalty. He told Empire magazine that he connects with stories where pain fuels determination because he understands that feeling from real life. In John Wick, he portrayed a man pulled back into violence after personal tragedy, and while the character is fictional, those who know Keanu say the emotional layers he brought came from authentic places. Trained rigorously for the fight scenes, despite past injuries from Matrix work, suffering bruised ribs and other setbacks, yet he completed the films with the same quiet dedication. This commitment is not about chasing perfection, but about honoring the craft that gave him purpose when everything else felt uncertain. Audiences respond because they sense the truth beneath the spectacle, a man who has known real darkness bring honesty to make-believe worlds. He has avoided over-discussing these connections in public, preferring to let the work speak, but occasional comments in press junkets reveal how personal experiences inform his performances in subtle, honest ways. Keanu has also built a reputation for generosity that feels earned rather than performative. Stories from set workers on films like Bill and Ted Face the Music or the John Wick sequels describe him paying for entire crew meals, buying thoughtful gifts after long shoots, or even helping with medical bills for those in need. One widely shared account from a Matrix crew member in a Variety interview detailed how Keanu gave away a significant portion of his earnings from the first film to the stunt team, and behind the scenes, staff recognizing their hard work and remembering his own early days of financial struggle. He has never bragged about these acts and often downplays them when asked, saying in a BBC interview that it just felt like the right thing to do. This approach stems directly from the lessons of his life, the abandonment by his father Samuel, the instability of constant moves, and the later losses that taught him the value of showing up for others. He understands what it means to feel unseen or unsupported and chooses differently. These real moments of kindness are the dark truth turned positive, the way pain can expand empathy rather than shrink it. Fans who meet him at events or on the street often mention his genuine eye contact and willingness to listen, a rarity in his position that makes interactions memorable. Throughout the 2000s and beyond, Keanu Reeves faced additional pressures from public scrutiny and the demands of blockbuster filmmaking. The John Wick franchise revived his action star status in his 50s, requiring intense physical preparation that he approached with discipline. In conversations with Ignan and other outlets, he acknowledged the challenges of aging in Hollywood while dealing with old injuries, but focused on the teamwork involved rather than complaints. His humility shines in how he credits directors, stunt coordinators, and fellow actors for successes, never centering himself as the sole hero. This attitude likely grew stronger after experiencing events that put fame in perspective, like losing Jennifer Same in 2001 and attending her funeral with quiet dignity. He has rarely revisited those details publicly, but when he does, as in a Guardian piece years later, it is with measured honesty about how grief evolves and how one learns to coexist with it. That coexistence includes moments of joy and creativity, which he channels into new projects and personal pursuits like reading philosophy or spending time with close friends. His circle remains small and trusted, a reflection of someone who values depth over breadth after knowing betrayal and absence early on. Another layer in Keanu Reeves' story involves his thoughts on fatherhood and family structures, given his own fractured beginnings. He has no children and has spoken gently about that reality in interviews like one with Esquire, noting that life took different turns and he has made peace with the paths chosen. The stillbirth of Ava remains a private sorrow, one he has touched on only briefly, saying it changed his outlook forever. Instead of dwelling, he has become a supportive figure in others' lives, mentoring younger actors or simply being a reliable friend. This choice highlights his character, not as someone defined by what he lacks, but by how he fills his days with meaning. His bond with his mother, Patricia, has endured as well, with Keanu often expressing gratitude for her resilience in raising him and his sister amid challenges. In a People magazine reflection, he called her influence foundational, crediting her strength for helping him face his own trials. These family ties grounded him as Hollywood success grew, allowing him to maintain perspective when awards and accolades came his way. He accepts praise graciously, but redirects it toward collaboration and hard work values shaped by real hardships. Keanu Reeves' approach to mental and emotional health is another honest element that resonates without being preached. He does not claim expertise, but shares observations from lived experience. In a conversation on the Stephen Colbert Show, he discussed the importance of presence and connection, saying we are all going to die and that awareness can make love feel more urgent. Lines like that come from someone who has missed people deeply and wants to appreciate those still here. He has dealt with dyslexia since childhood, which added layers of frustration in school, yet he turned it into fuel for determination, finding success through persistence. That same persistence appears in how he handles public life, avoiding scandals and focusing on craft. Recent projects as of the mid-2000s show him continuing to evolve with roles that blend action and reflection, keeping him relevant while he stays true to his quieter nature. Fans appreciate this consistency because it feels authentic in an industry often criticized for superficiality. The dark truths of his life, the early fatherless years, the friend River Phoenix gone too soon, the family health battles, the profound personal bereavements explain why his steadiness matters so much. It is not effortless but intentional, a daily choice informed by everything that came before. As time has passed, Keanu has explored different creative outlets beyond acting, including writing and producing efforts that allow more control over storytelling. He co-wrote a graphic novel called Berserker, which tapped into themes of immortality and inner conflict, drawing subtle parallels to enduring through pain. In interviews promoting it, he spoke about the appeal of characters who keep fighting despite costs, reflecting his own philosophy without exaggeration. This creative freedom lets him process and share ideas, indirectly offering value to audiences who connect with stories of resilience. His philanthropy remains low-key, supporting children's hospitals and cancer research causes tied to his sister's experience and other losses. He does not seek recognition for these efforts, preferring them as private extensions of his values. That privacy is key to understanding him, a man who has faced enough public pain through his work and does not invite more unnecessarily. Instead, he lets small, genuine interactions define his reputation, from helping a fan in need to sharing laughs with crew members on set. The way Keanu Reeves navigates aging and legacy also ties back to the truths of his journey. Entering his 60s, he continues challenging himself physically and artistically, refusing to fade into retirement. Friends and collaborators in various profiles describe him as thoughtful and present someone who remembers names and details from past projects. This attentiveness likely stems from years of valuing what remains after so much was taken. He has reflected on mortality with calm acceptance in outlets like the Los Angeles Times, noting that time spent with loved ones is what counts most. Such comments are not morbid but realistic, shaped by the stillbirth, the accident, and other farewells. They invite listeners to consider their own lives without pressure, just honest perspective. This is why his story connects emotionally. It avoids false promises, focusing instead on real endurance and the small ways kindness can emerge from hardship. Audiences see a celebrity who feels like a fellow human, one who stumbled through darkness and chose light where possible. Keanu has maintained strong professional relationships over decades, working repeatedly with certain directors and actors because trust matters to him after early instability. Those partnerships produce reliable work and reflect loyalty, a trait he holds dear. On a personal level, he enjoys simple routines like coffee shops and bookstores away from constant attention. These habits keep him balanced, allowing space for reflection amid a demanding schedule. The dark truth nobody talks about enough is how these ordinary preferences coexist with extraordinary pain and success, creating a full picture of a man who was neither victim nor saint, but someone real navigating it all. His life demonstrates that losses do not vanish, they integrate, becoming part of the foundation for whatever comes next. Whether in a high-octane chase scene or a quiet moment of dialogue on screen, that integration shows through making his performances compelling. Off-screen, it manifests in how he treats strangers and colleagues alike with equal respect. Reflecting on Keanu Reeves' full arc from a boy moving countries without a father to a global star carrying invisible weights reveals profound humanity. He has spoken in a few candid sessions about the absurdity and unfairness of certain events, yet emphasizes hope and human connection. That balance keeps his story inspiring without sugarcoating reality. As new generations discover his films, they often find themselves drawn not just to the action, but to the underlying soul he brings. It is a soul tested by life and refined by choices to remain decent. The kindness that feels almost impossible is in fact possible because it was hard, won through experiences most never face. This authenticity is what separates him and keeps fans returning. His path encourages others facing their own dark truths to keep going one step at a time with whatever grace they can muster. Keanu Reeves does not claim to have mastered life, but he shows up for it consistently, and that example carries quiet power. In recent reflections during press for ongoing projects, he continues to highlight teamwork and appreciation for opportunities. His body of work spans decades, offering something for different moods, from thoughtful dramas to thrilling escapism. Through it all, his personal steadiness provides the thread that ties everything together. The abandonments, the illnesses, the bereavements, the physical tolls, none erased his core but deepened it. He carries them with him not as burdens alone, but as reminders of love and loss intertwined. This honest integration makes his public presence feel earned and trustworthy. People sense he understands struggle and still finds reasons to create and connect. That understanding is the real heart of the story most overlooked when focusing only on fame and fortune. Keanu Reeves' life reminds us that behind every legend is a human journey filled with moments that test and ultimately reveal character in unexpected ways. His continues to unfold with the same quiet determination that has defined it from the start, proving that forward movement after darkness is not just possible, but deeply meaningful. If you have been moved by Keanu Reeves' journey, the way so many of us have, then take a moment right now to like this video and subscribe for more honest stories about the people we admire. Drop a comment below and tell me what part of his life hit you the hardest, or which of his films helped you through your own tough times. Sharing these real conversations helps others feel less alone in their struggles. Keanu shows us that kindness and persistence matter even after the darkest chapters, and your support lets us keep highlighting these authentic human stories. Thank you for watching and for carrying a bit of that same steady heart into your own day. Until next time, keep moving forward.